Sabotaging your Zepbound weight loss with this one meal change. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 108 pounds the last 2.5 years of being on Mounjaro, Zepbound, and Tirzepatide compound, not at the same time. The combination of those is because of the different shortages over the last 2.5 years. And on today's episode, I want to deep dive into a comment that I got, which I thought was so helpful. And so to this person, I blurred out their name to keep it confidential and no shade to them. I think it's such a vital learning lesson for collectively the Countess of Shopping group and me. After seeing this comment, it forced me to do some research. You guys know I demand and require it to be scientifically accurate. And so in doing my research, I wanted to come with some facts and arm myself with some information that I saw. And if you didn't see on my last YouTube short about sabotage around Zepbound weight loss, particularly if you've been on the medication for over a couple of months, the mindset shift, which happens with Zepbound for me, has been so profound. I mean, it just continues. Like, not to be so cliche of like the layer of the onion, but it's true. The layer of the onion keeps onioning. And so on this, here's the comments. Let me just read it and then we'll kind of break down each piece of it of why I think this is so helpful for me and what I gleaned out of it. And I want to share with you because hopefully it'll help you too on your journey. This person says, how many times are you eating each day? I'm trying to eat 6 mini meals a day, but it's tough. And preach, by the way, to this person, preach. It is tough to eat 6 mini meals, like it is. Our bodies can only absorb approximately 40 grams of protein per meal. Therefore, the protein must be introduced in smaller amounts each meal or snack. For me, it's easier to drink protein shakes than it is to find enough protein in food. What's your opinion? And so I love this question. And so I absolutely love the curiosity and I love this question. I would have loved if the commenter, because we do demand and require in the Countess of Shopping community to be factually accurate, to cite the source of saying our bodies can only absorb approximately 40 grams of protein per meal. Would love that source to be cited. So let's dive into that part of how that can lead to sabotage for me, because it has. I've heard that stat before a while back. And I knew after reading, I was like, red flag, red flag, red flag. Let's go look into that of why that may not be true and how we can use that to our benefit. So basically what it is, let me go back over to my notes over here, is our bodies actually is capable of digesting more protein than it is from a single meal. So it's not true that your body can only absorb approximately 40 grams of protein per meal. That's not true, actually. What it is true is that it's important to distinguish between absorption and utilization, that our bodies will absorb almost all the protein you eat regardless of the amount, which is why when you see me eating meals that do have like 40, 50, 60 grams of protein in them, this means the amino acid from the protein is entering our bloodstream. And so from that, basically what it's going to do is any protein consumed beyond what's immediately used is not wasted. It can be used for other bodily functions. And I was like, okay, well, what are my other bodily functions, right? Tissue repair. Well, for me, I don't know about you, but I'm lifting. I got a lot of, I got tissue repair because of the muscle mass loss that happens with GLP-1 weight loss, which is one of the reasons why I've really tried to lean into lifting weights. I did not lift weights my first full year. I really could not. It took after the first year to like dip my toe slightly into it. Into my second year is when now I'm doing like the stuff that I'm doing now. And even still, I'm still learning so much. I always say fellow turtles unite. And that even comes to me in terms of lifting. Like I am just learning so much about weight training. So that tissue repair because of muscle mass loss with Zepbound weight loss, Mounjaro weight loss, GLP-1 weight loss, that tissue repair is very important. So the overage, it's not getting wasted from that protein. The overage is actually going into tissue repair. 2, enzyme and hormone production. Who's having hormonal challenges? Entering perimenopause and my fellow menopause ladies, hello. And then for our gentlemen watching, the testosterone component, I'm gonna have a whole other video. Stay tuned, click that like and subscribe about testosterone for men with GLP-1 weight loss. I want you to see that episode if you're a gentleman. So that enzyme and hormone production, it's going to overflow over there, providing energy if needed. And then also it says converted to glucose or fat if overall calorie intake is in excess. And that's why I talk about on countessofshopping.com, there's a free calorie calculator. to figure out how many calories one should be eating per day. And it has on there the cool part about that free calorie calculator. And I'll link it down below in the description, as is all of my information on today's video, for you to figure out how many calories you're having. If you're working out, like if you're weight training, my calories are way different than if I'm more sedentary. If I'm walking a ton, which I am, I'm in our free group, which I'll also link that down below, is in a workout challenge right now. I'm walking a ton. I'm like tracking my steps hardcore. I've already walked several miles this morning, and we'll walk more miles later today. And so that affects my overall calorie intake too. So full stop on that of the absorption and utilization of thinking, like, this is where the sabotage for me has come in for so many years. One of the things that has been very helpful for me on my Zepbound weight loss, as we continue to talk about this sabotage with protein and meal size and how many meals, really, like, how many meals are we supposed to be eating per day? One of the best things that I have done is I've started incorporating peak tea into my daily routine. I love liquids. I really do. I love eating healthful meals and real food, but also just the grabbing component of something on GLP-1 medication has been really, really helpful for me. That's not high in calories at all, with no sugar added. I absolutely do love peak teas. They've been super, super helpful in terms of something to grab, something to have, something to consume, that I can have it either as a cold beverage or as a warm beverage, depending. Some of them are cold, some of them are warm. And literally it has in there the sticks. You just pour it into your cup, which makes it very easy for travel. So I'll put mine in a glass carafe and shake it. Or if I'm at the airport, literally I'll get a bottle of water and put it in and shake it. Some of them are for cold and hot. Some of them are just for hot teas. But it's harvested from over 250-year-old tea trees. It's triple toxin screened as well. So no junk, no pesticides, no weird additives, no weird sugars added into it or anything like that. Dissolves instantly, so no tea bags, no steeping. And it's literally, my favorite one is their ginger digestion elixir, but they have on sale today. You guys know I love me a good deal. And I'm gonna link it down in the description link below. Is it has today, let me go ahead and pull this up, is they're doing a limited time offer, a free starter kit on $100 subscription, 100 plus subscription orders. And on that, there's like a bunch that you can pick from. My absolute favorite on that page that they're offering, and I'll link the link down below, is the fermented PIQUE. It's for digestion and metabolism. It's so good. It's so good. I got a bunch of them behind me. It's so, 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 so good from Pete. You guys can tell, like, I got a bunch of their stuff because I love it. I love it. And these sticks are easy grab when I'm not hungry, but I want that habit, that sabotage power of eating something when I'm not hungry, but it's the habit of grabbing for something has been very helpful to incorporate different beverages in, and Peak Tea is one of those. You can go to peaklife.com/queen, QUEEN, and take advantage of that discount, of that 20% off of the free starter kit on all 100 plus subscription orders on there as well. And then there's also some savings, additional savings with that too. So run and get that. You can get the actual hyperlink down in the description link. Highly recommend. It's been very helpful for me to grab for something, particularly their PIQUE teas. I love them so much. I love them so much. But it helps for, I like the digestion one the best, but they do have a ton of other ones too for like skin. There's other ones. There's a beauty one. There's, my main ones are the digestion and beauty, but they do also have the matcha as well to help with skin and energy. Like, there's a ton, and their stuff is really, really good. I've talked about them for years now. I really, really like, and I keep using them because I like it so much, and it's so convenient and easy to put these in my pocketbook and have with me for hot or cold drinks as well. So going back to sabotage component with this too, the key part of this that I want to make sure that we're taking away is, when I would think, let me go back over to our comment, is when I would hear this comment about the 40 grams of protein, then I start to think, my brain, going back to being morbidly obese, weighing over 300 pounds, goes into, I'm doing it wrong. And if I'm doing it wrong, it makes me feel like a piece of garbage, and then that derails me off of eating healthy, and I will incorporate sabotage in. Facts. And I don't know if any of you can relate to this. Maybe you're wiser, better, stronger, faster than I am. But literally, it's one thing I've had to learn about myself on this weight loss journey that I've had to work through with a therapist. Literally, I love therapy. Is if I think I'm doing something wrong, it really, in terms of weight loss, because I've been so beat up, broken down, Do you guys know that song? She's beat up, broken down. Every man knows her name in the whole dang town. Every bar, they know her drink. If you can name that band, then you get a high five from me. I was going to say, I'll send you something. No, I'm not. I'll give you a high five. I'll give you a high five. You get a Countess crown. But going back over this comment, so thinking that I'm doing it wrong, that leads me to sabotage. But when I found out, like, I can have 6 meals, I can have 1 meal, I can have 3 meals. It is suggested, though, and this is where I feel like this is such an important message for the GLP-1 community, is obesity is such a wide spectrum. It's a wide hoop to jump through. We're going to do things differently. I'm wonderfully made. You are wonderfully made. And we're made differently, and our bodies need different things. So you may need different things than me. But for me, literally having different meal types has been something I've had to learn. And for the GLP-1 community, and this is testing for your own body, is what I really, because I am not medical, none of this is medical advice. Always talk to your own healthcare provider and your own experts, like a dietitian, because I'm not any of those. Simply my experience, strength, and hope of 2.5 years of really being one of the first guinea pigs on this and wanting to share my experience, strength, and hope. But what it is they're saying because GLP-1 has slower digestion with it, which we know, it has that delay in the gastric emptying in our digestion and reducing our appetite, large meals get uncomfortable. Who's experienced this? I had this the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, I ate too much. Oh, it didn't feel good. My tummy didn't feel good. And so that can lead to nausea, diarrhea, bloating, constipation, vomiting. It can lead to the gastrointestinal side effects, which I talk about all the time, the GI ones. So it's recommended because of that to eat 3 smaller meals with 1 to 2 healthier snacks throughout the day instead of 2 to 3 larger meals. Some experts even suggest aiming for 50% of what you normally eat without the medication. Now, I got to rip this apart a little bit more, is day 2 for me, because of peak appetite suppression of what I'm eating, versus day 5, which is half-life dose, meaning it's half-life, which means I'm going to have more hunger, less appetite suppression on day 5, day 6, day 7. Those meals on day 5, day 6, day 7 are, in terms of size and quantity, for me, vary versus day 2 and day 3. Day 2 and day 3, my belief system, you do you, but for my belief system, I am not going to force feed myself. That to me is insane. I've paid over $15,000 self-pay out of my own pocket the last 2.5 years, more than that now, for this medication. I am not going to force feed myself, particularly on day 2 and day 3. And therefore, my meal sizes change, and I have flexibility with that. I have bookends and boundaries to support healthy eating with that too. One of the best ways is using that calorie calculator on countessofshopping.com. I'll link it down below, or you can go to countessofshopping.com and use the search bar and type in like Manjaro calculator or calorie calculator. With that, I can figure out for the week how many calories based on that daily average. And that has been very, very helpful too, to figure out, okay, within that for the week, maybe on day 2 and day 3, I'm not eating enough calories, but day 5, day 6, day 7, I'm picking up steam, and my overall calorie deficit is still calorie deficit. Some people who are tuning into this right now are not eating enough. Some people who are tuning into this are eating too much because their dose isn't right. And so I want to speak to both of you in that context of it's going to take some trial and error and testing, which is why I go back to tracking. Some of y'all hate me for saying that. I'm sorry, but I love you. You know what? Like, I used to hate when people would say tracking too. I'd be like, no. I'm not saying for forever, honey. I'm not saying for forever. I'm just saying why don't you do it for a week and just see. For me, I use MyFitnessPal. It's free. It's easy. It's easy and it's free. And it gives me a good source to see how much protein I'm having and how much fiber I'm having as well. And so with that, within that fiber and within that too. Now, one of the things I like to talk about as well with this protein conversation is constipation. I posted a video yesterday. It was on YouTube Shorts. I'm not sure when this video is coming out, so maybe a couple days back by the time you see it. And it was talking about pizza, and then I ended up eating some fresh tomatoes. And yes, that's how I say tomatoes. You can ask my besties. That's how I say it. People are like, did you say that for camera? No, that's how I say it. Because I am on a hyperfixation of tomatoes recently. They're so good in Virginia right now. I live in rural Virginia. I'm next to farmland, and there's a ton of fresh tomatoes, and I love the cherry ones, and I'll cut them in half and have them with some balsamic vinegar, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil from Laconico olive oil. It's the best, and a little bit of sea salt. It is delicious. I had a big bowl of it. You know what that's helping with? Constipation with fiber. And I think that that's an important part of this conversation in terms of protein, but we need to be adding into the protein conversation fiber. And if that overwhelms you, me too. Of being like, protein, fiber, oh. That's why literally for my first year, how I talked about lifting, I didn't lift. I could focus only on this fiber thing, protein thing, meal thing. The lifting, I'm like, how do you even do that? Like, I just trying to get the food down, putting my fork down when I'm full. Like just getting that, but entering in the chat about fiber, because I feel like, did you guys ever play Mario? I love Mario, like literally like old school Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Apparently it's a rapping day today. But in Super Mario Brothers, you go to different levels. For me, it's new levels of learning about nutrition. And so that's the next level for me is I had to work out this protein component. And the next level is fiber, and fiber from fruits and vegetables. And it's astounding to me. It's been astounding to me about that. Okay, so going back over to the comment. Therefore, protein must be introduced in smaller amounts in each, this person's saying, in each meal or snack. For me, it's easier to drink protein shakes than to try to find enough protein in food. What's your opinion? I love protein shakes. I used to poo-poo them. I used to be like, bad kitty. No, I actually really like them quite a bit. The Count and I the Count is obsessed with clean, simple eats protein shakes. He's so cute. Don't tell him I told you. But he literally, like, we have a whole thing of like, okay, what protein shake am I going to drink today? I used to do, what tumbler am I going to pick today for my water? On my Instagram, my Countess of Shopping Instagram stories. And so now we talk about protein shakes, of what protein shake are we going to pick today? And he has his favorites and I have mine. They're different. And so, yeah, I love protein shakes. I do. I am trying to eat more of my like real food, but also royal living, meeting real life. I live a very highly enriched schedule, probably like many of you. I have a very demanding job. I just got back from being on QVC and HSN, and it's been like bonker doodle woodles traveling so much. The summer with my kid who's being at summer camps and shuttling him all around. He's on travel soccer as well. My hot husband and things with him, and like, the beat goes on. There's a lot of stuff. Life is lifing. And you probably have that too, which is why I love things like protein shakes, protein bars, and things like that. I used to poo-poo them, and now I actually use them as a tool for me, and it's helped me continue to lift, build muscle, lose weight, get stronger, better, tighter, faster. So I love protein shakes. Let me go back over the comment. I love protein shakes. So I think that there's not one way to do this. So to get to the like bottom line of this, there's not one way to do this. You can have 6 meals a day. You can have 2 meals a day. You can have 1 meal a day. Some days I just have 1 meal a day. I know some people are gonna be like, ah. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that giving my body a little rest in terms of digestion, in terms of being healthy and balanced is a good thing. Dr. Fung, I call him the daddy of intermittent fasting, has a ton of great data on intermittent fasting and utilizing that to our benefit. That coupled with GLP-1 medication is a really powerful tool. And more studies have come out about how intermittent fasting helps with cancer. But I do think in the GLP-1 community, for me, coming from a background that was somewhat a disordered perspective with food, being really, really on top of that with intermittent fasting, because I've taken it to some places that have not been balanced. And so using it as a balanced tool is really important. But going from this to this, like that's amazing. So I think that the guilt, shame, condemnation part of it, or I'm doing it wrong, I want to encourage you to find your legs of what works for you. If 6 meals works for you, great. By the way, also, if you feel yucky after having 40 grams of protein in a meal, then that's what your body is telling you those signals. Lean into that. For me, my body's like, yeah, 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 yeah. So you do you. That's where this is like, it is a wide hoop with obesity, with a wide spectrum. Weight loss does not have to be done one way, and GLP-1 does not have to be done one way. And when people get very rigid on that, that's where I say, run, run. That is not a source that you may want to be taking opinions from. I don't go to dentists who don't have teeth, and I don't, it's from Pamela Shaw. There's not one size fits all for GLP-1 weight loss. I'm going to take what I want and leave the rest. And so for me also, over the last 2.5 years, this has changed a lot. I had a pocket of where 6 meals made the most sense for me. I've had a pocket of where 2 meals a day made the most sense for me. And now where I'm currently at the highest dose of Zepbound, 15 milligrams, being on it for like a year and a half now, total being on Zepbound, Mounjaro, and Tirzepatide compound for 2.5 years. I really like to have like 2 to 3 meals, maybe 2 to 3 meals and a snack, like a snack being my protein shake. And tracking my calories to be in a calorie deficit because I'm still not quite at my goal weight because I'm at the highest dose. And people are like, that's also the other thing of where there's so much judgment with that. I'm like, take a pill. Like I'm one of those people, there's 4 different buckets: hyper responders, hypo responders, non-responders, and just responders. It's not that I've done anything wrong, because I've not. I've worked as hard as I can. I've done the best that I can. We are different, and it's not like I'm making great choices, and I am so proud of my weight loss journey. And I want you to be proud of your weight loss journey too, of whatever that looks like. But in terms of the data, I do think that we need to have conversations about the different meal sizes, because that can set us up for sabotage. And getting rigid in that, because the medication doses, when you titrate up, that may not be the same story. When you titrate up from Zepbound 5 milligrams to Zepbound 7.5 milligrams, for example, when you're titrating up a dose, that may also not be the same story. So getting rigid in that pattern may not best serve you. It may not best serve you. And I want you to find what best serves you. And so water is an important part of this conversation as well, and coming up with new routines, new habits, and learning mindfulness with eating is the other big thing as well with this conversation. Me having 6 meals a day, it's too much for me, but that's me. If you like that, then you do you. But for me, that's just too much. First and foremost, just the plates alone, honey. Just washing all those dishes, because I work from home. I'm like, that's too many dishes to wash. 6 dishes. I can't do 6 dishes. My husband and I had a conversation about that the other day too. I'm like, I just can't handle these dishes. So I'm teasing, but you see what I'm like, it's just too much mental payload for me. Like that's why I kind of lean into the 2 to 3 meals per day and a snack. Like it's like the less thinking. And also when I plan, because I do like to plan my meals, I like where I best set myself up for success is when I do it the night before of what I'm going to eat. Takes emotion out of the equation. So then I can plan a little bit better. Like, do I actually even have that in my refrigerator of what I'm thinking about? So there's no last minute surprises. That's also helpful. But this meal size conversation definitely has evolved for me, bottom line. And I bet you for a lot of you, it's evolved too, of where you started. If you started on the loading dose, 2.5 milligrams, versus now of where you are, if you've just started or if you've been on for a year or whatever, that conversation probably has changed. Now, I do want you to go ahead and take advantage of PIQUE's deal that we've got going on. It's PIQUElife.com. That's PIQUELIFE.com/queen for the discount. I'm obsessed with PIQUE teas. I absolutely love them. In particular, the one going on right now, and obviously sales are subject to change, as are the sales are absolutely subject to change, is the fermented pu'er. It's the digestion and metabolism. It's the brown one. I'm obsessed. I love it. Our accountability question today: what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? Tell me in the comments below. And then also, our emoji of the day is going to be a little teacup, a little coffee cup for a little teacup. And I do emojis of the day to get to know you better because I care. It's like our bat signal to each other that you've made it this far in the video. It's also my bat signal to pray over you if you don't believe in prayer, uplift you in positive thought, because all are welcome at the Countess of Shopping table. And I'm really looking forward to this week of the free group challenge. Take advantage of that free resource and my free calorie calculator listed down in the description link below. My beautiful friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye, guys.